Good day, everyone. My name is Valaiporn Nonsaat. I come from Thailand, and I want to present my research. My research title is Corporate Governance Cost Implementation and Market Capitalization of Thai-listed companies. Abstract. This was a pilot project of the corporate governance course implemented by listed companies on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. The overall objective of this project aimed to explore the informative value of CG code voluntary disclosures. Proxy in business to measure the value included market capitalization, Tobin Q, and stock price, among others. The datasets include the CG code disclosures from companies comprising 97 list firms in 2021. Content analysis was employed to analyze CG code voluntary disclosures. It was found out wide range characteristics, size, leverage, and profitability of list companies implemented CG codes. Principle 1, namely establish clear leadership role and responsibilities of boards, was clearly stated. However, Principle 4, namely ensure effective CEO and people management, was somewhat vague. In addition, the study found that Principle 1, Principle 5, and Principle 8 were significantly associated with market capitalization. This pilot project pointed to significant findings of the informative value of CG code voluntary disclosures. Further analysis should discern more useful informative value of the CG code. Introduction. Corporate governance is the method of boards oversee the operations of a company by its managers and how board members add value to shareholders and the company. This had allegations for company behavior towards employees, shareholders, customers, and other stakeholders. Good corporate governance play an important role in supporting the integrity and efficiency of financial markets. Lack of corporate governance weakens companies' potential and can create financial difficulties and even first. If a company are well administered, it is more likely to outperform other companies and able to attract investors that help to finance further growth. Thailand, as a developing country, faces economic turmoil in 1997 because of the lack of corporate governance. Thai government, by the Stock Exchange of Thailand and Security Exchange Commission, have been developing corporate governance system continuously. Based on the OECD recommendation in 2017, SET introduced the Corporate Governance Code to list companies. This is to encourage board of directors to have more responsibility to oversee the company. The CC code describes the way of a company should perform activities to show how well corporate governance performs. The code composes of 8 principles in 137 issues. The objective of the study was to assess the CG code implementation level of list company. Then, as an initiative study, this study used market capitalization as a measurement tool to evaluate information value of the CG code. Development of corporate governance in Thailand next. Even some companies in Thailand were already practicing various degrees of corporate governance. Corporate governance has seriously started since 1997 due to Thai financial crisis. Previous study about ETL 1998 concluded that financial structures weakness in the Thai economy had allowed enormous capital inflows into the country, once the foreign inflows were in business. 1. The lack of proper microeconomic management mechanisms. 2. Poor corporate governance among Thai companies that did not separate management and control. And 3. A lack of accountability and transparency in the expropriation among shareholders, management, and employees caused serious Thai financial crisis. This was the starting point of formal Thai corporate governance. Significant corporate governance enhancements have been proclaimed since 1998. The significant changes were the structure and role of the board of directors of listed companies in the Stock Exchange of Thailand. Thai government established the National Corporate Governance Committee to support and encourage good corporate governance on a national basis. The government The government also decided 2002 as the year for the integration of corporate government campaigns. After the starting point, corporate governance had been developed continuously. The supported list firms good city by proposing the 15 Principles of Good Corporate Governance as preliminary guidelines to implement. These include 1. Policy about corporate governance, 2. Shareholders' right and equality, 3. Right of related parties, 4. Shareholder meeting, 5. Leadership and vision, 6. Conflict of interest, 7. Business ethics, 8. Check and balance of non-executive directors, 9. Combination or separating positions, 10. Remunerations, 11. Board of Directors meeting, 12. Subcommittee, 13. Control system and internal control, 14. Board of Directors report, and 15. Investor relationship. Later, the Principles of Good Corporate Governance published in 2006 was a modernized version of the 15 Principles announced in March 2002. More principles have been included to be comprehensive and comparable to the Principle of Corporate Governance of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This version also included the recommendation on the World Bank in its report on the observance of standards and codes related to corporate governance. Based on 2006 version, the Principle of Good Corporate Governance for listed company was revised in 2012. The principle and the suggested best practice are present in 5 categories, namely 1. Rights of shareholders, 2. Equitable treatment of shareholders, 3. Role of stakeholders, 4. Disclosure and transparency, and 5. Responsibility of the board. In 2007, SET raised the issue that listed firms have scarcely implemented the corporate governance. Therefore, the CG Code was developed as practice principle for the board of directors. The CG Code has two main parts: 1. Principle and sub-principle, and part 2 guidelines and explanations. The CG Code principle includes the as follows. Unlike a comply or explain requirement, the state stated that the implementation of CG Code is on an apply or explain basis. This city code intends to encourage the board to leniently apply the city code to their company's business in the interest of long-term sustainability. This means that the board is fortified to apply each principle and sub-principle by means that are suitable for the company's business. If any, the principle or sub-principle cannot be applied or not applicable, the board should provide an explanation as appropriate. The guidelines and explanation in Part 2 are for further clarification and content recommended practices in relation to each principle and sub-principle. Mainly, the city code emphasizes on the board responsibility, especially leadership, set up strategy and policy, monitor financial liquidity and debt servicing ability, demonstrate thorough understanding of the company's shareholder structure and control management, and the role of the chairman of the board. The city code includes 8 principles and 137 disclosures, stated as follows. Principle 1. Establish clear leadership role and responsibility of the boss. Principle. Principle 2. Define objective that promotes sustainable value creation. 10. Principle 3. Strengthen board effectiveness. 44. Principle 4. Ensure effective CEO and people management. 14. Principle 5. Nurture innovation and responsible business. 9. Principle 6. Strengthen effective risk management and internal control. 21. Principle 7. Ensure disclosure and financial integrity. 14. And Principle 8. Ensure engagement communication with shareholders. 17. Total 137. Methodology. The samples in this study comprises of list companies on the stock exchange of Thailand that disclose city code completely. As of December 2021, list companies which apply all 8 principles were 97 companies, excluding companies undergoing rehabilitation or revocation, property funds, and trust group. The list companies in the market for alternative investment. After identifying the list firms, the data collection of city code and the market capitalization were performed. The city code information from the companies which completely implemented all the city code were collected from various publicly available sources and much as possible. Market capitalization was used as a pioneer to measure information value of the city code disclosures because the disclosures of city code are qualitative information. The study used a content analysis approach to measure the levels of disclosures. The criteria of rating were referred from the Guidelines for Corporate Governance Principle of the Stock Exchange of Thailand. The total of sub-principle equals to 137 issues. The rating was based by scale approach to evaluate the city code disclosures. The interpretation of the scores are as follows: 4.2125 it means high. 3.4124.20 it means quite high. 2.6123.40 it means moderate. 1.81 to 2.60 it means limited. Lower than is 1.81. It means rarely. Empirical results. The table 2 indicates the characteristics of the 97 listed companies that fully disclose all 8 principles of the city code. It is found that the total assets are widely ranging from 611 million baht to 3.75 trillion baht at the average of 120.82 billion baht. The total leverage ratio is from 0.04 to 0.89 at the average of 0.46. The list companies finance their assets at half from liabilities. The profitability ratio, measurement profit before tax to total assets, is widely ranging from minus 0.06 to 0.50 at the average of 0.07. The overall list companies' financial structures are unstable in all conditions in terms of size, leverage, and profits. This interprets that the list firms are eligible to disclose city code. This is show that transparency and sustainability. Table 3 shows level of city code of the list companies that fully disclose our as principle of city code is found. The overall of city code score are quite high. It means equal to 3.88, while the city code score range between 2.00 to 5.00. This means that even if the list companies consider themselves as fully disclosures of city code, however, some of those firms are still needed to improve their disclosures to seriously comply with the principle. When considering in detail, it is found that principle 1 gets the highest disclosure score, mean equal to 4.47. while principle 4 gets the lowest score, mean equal to 3.67. This means that even if the list company disclose clearly leadership roles and responsibilities, the companies are still not too sure how CEO and people management are able to perform their work well. In addition, principle 5, namely nurture innovation and responsible business, indicate the lowest score. It means equal to 3.75, shows that the list company have some problems of new innovation to create better business. Also, principle 6 and principle 7 shows the disclosure scores quite low. This means that the list companies are facing some problems of risk management and internal control and financial difficulty in some based on the evolution. The list companies are needed to improve their performance. The study also initially investigated the information value of city code implementation over market capitalization. Table 4. Table 4 is a Pearson correlation matrix of market capitalization and S principle of city code. The Table 4 shows the relationship among market capitalization and the 8 principle. It is found that the market capitalization significantly relates to principle 1, 5, and 8 in positive manner. This means that when the list companies disclose those principles, then it is more likely to increase market capitalization. Therefore, the list companies choose should establish clear leadership role and responsibility of the board. Always encourage to have innovation and responsible for business, and always ensure engagement communication with shareholders. In addition, Principle 4 significantly relates to the rest principle in positive manner. This means that Principle 4 is the center of all disclosures. The list companies tend to have confidence to proceed their business if they have good manpower. In other words, without the staff effectiveness, business operations are quite slow. Conclusions. The objective of this study was to observe the information value of the implementation of the city code recommended by the SET. The study attempted to develop the city code checklist in order to evaluate and the city code disclosures of the Thai list companies which fully apply of city code. Using the content analysis is what found that wide range characteristics of list companies implementation the city code. Principle 1, namely establish clear leadership role and responsibility of boards, was clearly stated. However, Principle 4, namely ensure effective CEO and people management, was somewhat vague. In addition, the study found that Principle 1, Principle 5, nurture innovation and responsible business, and Principle 8, ensure engagement and communication with shareholders, was significantly associated with market capitalization when observing the correlation among the city code of the list companies. Principle 4, namely ensure effective CEO and people management, was the center of all disclosures. Also, the significant correlation between the city code implementation and market capitalization we found. The analysis should explore more useful informative value of city code implementation. Thank you for attention สวัสดีค่ะ